Alright, so macros are recordings of your mouse clicks, and keystrokes are used for things you do repeatedly in the exact same way. And so in this exercise we'll create a few useful macros, and you can see the Word document attached that takes you through the steps for creating 3 types of macros. So to set up the macro, you select the View tab and then you click Macros and Record, and then you type the name of the macro. You add a macro button, if you like, to the Quick Access toolbar, and then click the button, and Word Options Customize Quick Access Toolbar screen opens. Record the macro, you enter the keystrokes you want, mouse clicks you want the macro to record, and you select the View tab and choose Stop Recording. So let's go into Word, and we'll go ahead and create a macro. I'll show you one that I already have. This macro up here, as you can see me hover there, normal, new macro, and it says a table 5 by 10. So when I click on this button, it inserts automatically a table of that size, so that I can avoid having to go through the table creation process every time I need a table of this size. Also, I have another macro here that sets the bold and italic configurations. When I click it, and then I type, I will get bold and italics. So let's go through and create a macro or two. So I go under my View tab up here, I go to Macros, and I say Record a macro. And now it wants to know the name of the macro, and we'll say table 5 by 5. That's the name I'm going to give it, and I'm going to create a button for it. And so I go out to my Quick Access toolbar. This is the macro I'm going to create. I add it, and now I have to change and modify it to pick a button. I go out and find a button that seems appropriate for this particular macro, and I'm not seeing anything too exciting. I'll just go ahead and create this little sad face guy, and then click OK. And now it's recording. You can see the little tape cassette that's attached to my pointer, and I go up under Insert, and I'm going to Table, and I'm going to do a 5 by 5 table. And now I'm done recording the macro. So I go back to my View tab, go to Macro, and I say Stop Recording. And now up on my toolbar up here at the top, you see the little sad face. I click there and I put in my 5 by 5 table wherever I would like to place it. So that's one kind of a macro that you can insert. You could also insert another kind. Let's say we go up here to View, and we're going to pick the Record Macro option, New Macro. We're going to call it Sign Off. Alright, I'm going to put it on a button, and this time I have to add it over to my toolbar, modify it, and pick the kind of icon that I think would best represent what this is. I'll use the check mark here, click OK, and then OK again. And now this time I'm going to type in sincerely yours on the 3rd, and I'm going to then highlight that text, and highlight that again, and then I'm going to go to Home, and I'm going to pick a different font, and I'll make it a little bit larger, and then I'll go ahead, go back to my View option, and I go to Macro and Stop Recording. So now whenever I want my signature, I go up to my check mark and I pop in my signature there as well. Now you'll notice that this particular font didn't carry over to my Carl M. Kent III signature, and the reason for that was I didn't hit enter after the end of this line, and that's something in a macro that you should do. Let me try that again. So we'll go back to our view option, and we'll pick record a macro, and we're going to call it sign off 2 this time, and we'll have a button. I'll put that over there on my toolbar and modify it. This time we'll pick a little funnel and click OK. And now this time let's go up to home first, and let's pick the font that we want. And now let's type in sincerely yours, the third, and then hit enter. And now I'll go back under view and go to macros, stop recording. So now when I want to insert that in, I go to the funnel and I type it in there and get my signature back in place. Alright, so now let's try another type of macro where we are going to highlight a bunch of information and then reformat it. So we'll go up under our macro, record macro, and we'll call it larger font. That's what we're going to call that, a button. And we're going to add that to our list, and we're going to pick modify, and we're going to pick a different icon that represents it on our toolbar. And now this time we're going to highlight all this text, go to home, and we'll pump up the font larger, and we can actually go ahead and change our font, and then we'll go ahead and go back to view, and well, we'll just click off there first, and then go back to macros and stop recording. So then the next time we want to do that to any kind of text, let's type this again here. I'll change the font over and get it back to a different type of font here. There we go. So now if I highlight that text and use that font, it will go ahead and change the formatting for that font that I want to change. Let me go back and show that to you again. We'll go to calibrate, and now if I highlight this and I pick that font, it will go ahead and change everything for me. So there's several different types of macros that you can create. Alright, also on the building block organizer, continue on with that brief lesson, I'm going to go back up under insert, and when you go to the building block organizer pull down menu, you don't just have to go by what you see here in this list. You can go to the building block organizer option, and then you can sort these building blocks by category by clicking on that title, and you can see a lot of these are built in, and you can come down and see what building blocks you have available, and then pick them from the list itself. You can sort it by gallery, so that the galleries that you have named, you can use that as a category as well, and then pick like here's watermarks, and so here's like humor. That was where I had created a category, and then if you wanted to use some of the built-in ones, semaphore and so on, you can go in there and take a look at what all these look like as well, and then modify them according to your needs. and make use of those. So anyway, I wanted to show you the building block organizer, and then once you find one you like, you can insert it and then modify it according to your purposes. Quick parts and building blocks. You can use a quick part gallery to create, store, reuse pieces of content, including auto text, document properties such as title, author, and fields. These reusable blocks of content are also called building blocks. Auto text is a common type of building block that stores text and graphics. So you can use the building blocks organizer to find or edit the building block. So the basic procedure to create a quick part, you select the phrase, assuming you've got something already typed up, select the phrase, a sentence, or other portion of your document you want to save to a gallery. Then on the Insert tab in the text group, you click Quick Parts, and then click Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery, change the name, and add a description if you like, and then click OK. So you can see the Word document I've got attached for more details on that. In the newer version of Word, you select the phrase, sentence, or other portion of your document you want to save to the gallery. On the Insert tab in the text group, you click Quick Parts, then click Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery, change the name, add a description, and click OK. So note, to save a selection as auto text on the Insert tab in the text group, click Quick Parts, then Auto Text, and save selection to Auto Text Gallery. Now the reason you might want to use auto text is because with an auto text quick part, when you start to type the first few characters of the auto text, it will give you the option in Word of hitting enter, and then it will automatically insert that auto text for you. That's the advantage of a quick part auto text format. So to insert a selection from Quick Parts Gallery, you place your cursor where you want to insert a selection from the Quick Parts Gallery. Then on the Insert tab in the text group, you click Quick Parts, and then click the sentence, phrase, or other save selection you want to reuse. If you save them as auto text, when you click Insert Quick Parts Auto Text to find the insertion. And there's a lengthy discussion at Microsoft on some more detail in our website. You can click here. Let's go into Word itself, and so let's say we wanted to reuse this paragraph. So I'll highlight it. I'll go up to Insert, and then over here explore Quick Parts in this location, and then building block organizer. If I want to pick a different name, but save selection to Quick Part. So here I have it highlighted. I pick Save Selection to Quick Part Gallery, and I'm going to type in Lincoln. The name of this is Lincoln Humor. So I'm going to make that into a quick part. Notice in my name, I don't use spaces. I don't worry about capitals. You make it short and sweet, just so you know what it actually means. And then the gallery, if I decide to put it in auto text instead of Quick Parts, it's going to let me just type the first few words of that paragraph in space attempting, so on. But I just want to put it in Quick Parts. In the category, I can come in here and create a new category, and I'm going to say humor, and then say OK. So I could add other humor as Quick Parts besides something about Lincoln's humor, and then I can put in a description, President Lincoln, Minnesota humor, and then save it in building blocks.dotx. Insert the content only, that is if I didn't want to insert the formatting of the paragraph. Otherwise you can insert it. in its own paragraph or it's on its own page. I'll just say insert content only at the location wherever I have my cursor. I'll click OK. So now, if I start a new document, I can insert that in any document in my system. So we'll say new blank, and now I go back to insert, and I come up to my quick part area, and there it is, Lincoln Humor, and I just insert it in that location. Now let's say I want to save this as a auto text to show you the difference. So I'll highlight it, go back to insert, and then I can go in here and say auto text, save selection to auto text gallery. Alright, and so the name is going to be in attempting. You notice here I am using a space in auto text, and then the category, I could say create a new category, or just general. We'll say again humor for auto text, humor, and then say OK. So now if I come down to my document and I type in attempt, now you see what's happened here. In attempting has popped up and it says hit enter to insert. And so in this case, I didn't have to go up to insert the auto text. I just had to type in the first few characters. So that's the long and the short of using the quick parts gallery and auto text here. The auto text can include a graphic. So if I wanted to find a picture and include it, I could do that as well. So let's go ahead and pick a picture here, and I'll just put in this one here. And now when I make my selection of text and the graphic, make sure I got it all, I can go back up under my insert option and pick my building block. So I can come up here and save selection to quick part gallery, and I'll this time I'll say with graphic humor, and include it in my category of humor, and click OK. So now when I want that same piece of text and graphic inserted, I can come back up here and come down to with graphic humor and select it, and it inserts the graphic along with the text. I kind of bumped over to the next page on that, but you get the idea of how you can include a graphic, and you could have a table. Any number of items could be involved in the quick part. You could have a hyperlink. That's a part of the text that goes out to the internet if somebody clicks it. So it's a very handy tool of building different types of documents from different pieces and parts.